I want to share with you a story. I want to share with you a story about myself. One that doesn't get shared very often. I don't tend to share my internals or my personal story because it's what got me to this point. It's not who I am, yet it also holds everything that provides the beautiful gift that I am now. It is my purpose. And my story is exactly my offering. Now, I am a conscious business consultant. I work with people to line their business up to their soul's purpose, to walk the path of their mission, to be able to live in a design of their authentic energy, to live within their means, within their energy, and to be able to assist them to recognize what truly brings them fulfillment. Because often our mind has a different story. Our mind has an interpretation that certain things bring us enjoyment. Certain things are what will make us successful. Certain processes or certain strategies are exactly what it is that will make us earn millions of dollars. And I'm here to say it's not true. That yes, some of those systems work for some individuals, and a lot of those systems don't work for most of those individuals. And what I have found is that true fulfillment means living with your heart, living with your soul's desire, living in the knowing that you have come here to complete your purpose and your mission on this planet. This is building sustainable currency. Sustainable currency and business through your own self-development is important. But how did I come to all of this? How did I come to knowing that if you're in alignment with your values, if you know the pillars of your purpose, if you have the codec to what it is that brings your heart's sacred connection into currency, that you will be successful, happy, and in alignment? It's because I did it through some pretty upfront, confronting, and traumatic experiences. I did it through the depletion of my body. I did it through narcissistic abuse. I did it through losing my children through abandonment and through child alienation, through many court trials and through experiences of multiple relationships failing. I did it through everyone I love leaving me. I did it through almost dying. I did it through the points of suicide. I did it through finding all the ways that wouldn't bring me happiness. I did it through stripping back all of the layers of false self that were a mask to my life, to my reality. I did it by recognizing that what I was doing was coming from validation. I did it by acknowledging that the parts of me that were there in success at different points in my life experience were there to hide the broken heart. The pathway of contrast, the pathway of pain, and the pathway of inner healing is the pathway that I used to find my purpose, my fulfillment, my truth. Now, my purpose is to activate the remembrance of who you truly are, to be a guide so that you can connect to your sacred heart and build a life based on the remembrance of who you are. That doesn't require a specific level of evolution. That doesn't require a specific level of development. That just requires some frameworks, processes, and opportunity to be guided to know what it is you actually want. If I ask many of you what it is you want in life, what do you want to receive? Most people talk from their head, they talk from their conditioning, and they talk from an aspect of self that is trying to be filled. What if you could create what you want from the fullness? What if you could create what you want from the remembered love? What if you could create your purpose, your business, and everything down in your life experience from something that is already whole, from something that already has a complete totality, rather than needing to live life and challenge through the traumas, through the initiations, through the trial and error? Because that's what's happening. That's what I did. Trial and error. Try this. Experience this. Create this. Go and learn this. Do all of these things, and then you will know yourself. Then you will find yourself. But the thing is that each and every one of those things left me feeling empty. Each and every one of those things left me feeling as if something had abandoned me. Each and every one of those things was not the thing that reminded me of what my purpose actually was. It was only by finding that connection point, by remembering my true authentic self, my essence, that I could build from that. And what I started to do was build foundations. I started to build from the essence of my individuality. I started to build a gift that allowed for me to provide an offer of a pathway for those that felt they needed healing. And then an offer of a pathway for those that know they're here for purpose, for business, for transformation, for bringing global movements. And so everything that I experienced through trial and error has been put together in a package, an offer. It's been put together in a framework where you don't have to spend the next 5, 10, 15 years trialing and erroring. You can get a business plan based on your soul's development, your evolution, and your remembrance. But I don't create it for you. You create it with me. We bring through each element, each theme, each marketing, the way you present your message and the way that you display yourself. What it is that those of the soul beings on the earth are waiting for you to remember and offer. What it is that will provide you sustainable currency and wealth, a continual growing of creation rather than pits and falls. This happened because I chose the path of dissension, ascension. This happened because I couldn't stay sustainable in myself. This happened because I was unable to listen. And it also happened because there was no one out there that could show me a path, that could provide a path, and that could allow for me to follow them, because it didn't exist. This is revolutionary. This is the new pathway to consciousness. This is the new pathway for spiritual entrepreneurs and for conscious entrepreneurs. This is a new paradigm of currency, frequency, and that of holistic self-knowing. That's where the contraction and the expansion ends, and it's just a continual momentum of development of self, a continual growth in your experience. That's where you get to step out of pain, failure. This is where you get to choose from the fulfillment of your heart by remembering that no matter how big the gains are, how many clients you have, that you know that you are exactly on purpose. That's what I offer. I offer this through the recognition of what fucking sucked for me. And that's the truth. I spent hours in tears. I spent hours in desperation to be saved. I spent hours upon hours deconstructing my mind, trying to remember why I was here, why everything was the way it was, why so many things had happened to me. What was the point? What was really worth it? And I found it in remembering what has been here all along. It was only all of those experiences and stories that made it hard for me to read, hard for me to understand. And I'm a conduit. So if this feels resonant, if you're ready to discover rather than go through the trial and error and the learning process of the human experience, if you'd like to create and be in the point of continued steps forward, Kaizen, small incremental movements create lasting, substantial change, then this pathway is for you. This pathway is for those that are ready to step out of karma, ready to step out of the story of not knowing, and to truly invest in themselves, to step out of what you've been told about what purpose, mission, service is, and to start to gain your life as a conscious creator. If this feels true to you, please like, comment, share this, and contact me. I love you. Thank you.